11:16, Monday, the 1st of June, 2020. You have to ask yourself, what would Jesus Christ have done? At least if you're a Christian, or if your faith connects to Jesus Christ then anyhow, you have to have asked yourself, what would Jesus Christ have done? On the 1st of June, Ghanaians received good news. And the good news was, you can go to church for 1 hour. So the churches are reopened, the mosques are reopened. Good. The orders didn't come from God. The orders came from the president, Nanado. What would Jesus have done when the orders were given for churches to shut had Jesus believed in churches? They tried to get Jesus to denounce his faith, to denounce who he is, to lie about himself, in order for the people to hear him say, I lied. And then they will let him go because they knew they were committing a sin. If you're a Christian, this is what the Bible told you. They knew they were committing a sin. But because Jesus was true to his nature and he didn't want to shut down God's words, and he was true to God's words to the fullest, he stuck to his truth. He didn't take orders from Nanado. If Jesus didn't take orders from Caesar, he wouldn't take orders from Nanado to shut down. So what would Jesus have done? Jesus wouldn't have shut down. So why did all the churches shut down? The Bible tells you, you believe in faith and spirit. They didn't have enough faith and they don't believe in spirit. They were scared of Nanado more than they were scared of God. And now Nanado's giving them 1 hour. 1 hour. Now come and see the hypocrisy. Come and see the hypocrisy of the human race. COVID-19 didn't kill anybody. Lockdown killed everybody. Why? Let me tell you what lockdown did. Those cheating on their wives had to stay home. If they chose to stay away with their girlfriends, their wives found out. Judgment will come immediately. Both the men and women. You know how many divorces are going to come after this? Do you know even how many deaths? How many partner relationship crimes have been committed just because people had to spend time with each other? Had to spend time with each other. They realized they couldn't spend time with each other. They realized they couldn't even be with each other. You realize your husband's a cheat. Because get this, although his girlfriend is fully aware of you and your rights, she's demanding his presence. He's not that clever, you catch him. I'm telling you, listen. If you believe in Allah, if you believe in God, if you believe in Jesus, if you believe in Joseph Smith, if you believe in Charlie Manson, if you believe in the devil, whatever you believe in, yeah, put it this way. You see, the Creator, he's a funny person, or he's a funny being. He's a funny being. Do you know why? Because it's very simple, isn't it? It is very, very simple. what would Jesus have done? He would have done what the Creator had wanted him to do. What would the Creator have wanted him to do? He would have wanted him to get to work, study what Akans will call abode creation, because every ailment comes out of creation, and every healing for that ailment comes out of creation. Believe it or not, yeah, something may be poisonous for you today, but when you have a certain type of ailment, that same thing could become the medication. What would Jesus have done? Administer medication. The Bible tells you you have to aspire to be like the God you believe in. He would administer medication. You will call it a miracle, but it's medication. It's healing. But if you're not Jesus and you want to aspire to Jesus, then how do you aspire to Jesus? You don't say the doctor is looking for the cure. No. You study. You get down to it. It's not the doctor's job to heal you. That's why the doctor has made you into a cash cow. Because you have given your health, your well-being, if you're a Christian, your temple to him to ruin and to treat as he wishes. And you have no information about your own temple. A case of knowing thyself. Knowing thyself. A case of knowing thyself. This is what's going to happen. Preachers have to be very, very careful now. And I'm talking to a 99.9 degree certainty of being careful. Why? They didn't sell healing water, healing oil, healing spit, healing poo, healing urine, healing bathing water, healing shit, healing everything. They didn't sell none of this to cure COVID-19, the most scariest disease that has threatened every type of human in the human race. Their God didn't give them the wisdom to cure any of that. But before COVID-19, they had miracle cures for everything. People run left, people run right. People run forward, people run backwards, sideways, everything, looking for them. Making claims. In the art of healing, when you make a claim, you have to prove it. And now the law will come in that if a preacher makes a claim to have healed, we want to see the before and after. Let's see the doctor that verified that this was the case before he practiced his healing game. And if that so be the case, they will medically certify his spirituality. If a preacher gives oil or even TCP to drink, drink it. But we will look at the properties of TCP and say if we think it's good for human consumption. And then we will look at what it was intended to cure and see if you have been cured of that. If not, you have been given poison. Because that's what TCP is when the human ingests it. You see what I mean? Too much. Preachers have to be very careful. Because we know their God doesn't respond. We know they don't have faith in their gods. In fact, we don't even know if they worship the God you think they worship. Because they are meant to aspire to Jesus. And Jesus would have told Nanado, like he told Caesar, my Father's will is that I access life, and being confined is also being cut away from life. And my human rights as a physical person and my spiritual rights, mental rights, and everything rights. I have the right to choose if I live or die. And if you say there's corona in the air, then there's corona in the air. Thank you. But no. And then you would have walked around breathing corona, proving to everyone that you see your God. He is king over corona. But you didn't. You went on WhatsApp, started making videos, wearing face masks. We couldn't hear you properly. You went on YouTube, started making WhatsApp videos and YouTube videos, wearing face masks. We can't hear you properly. The only time we can hear you is when you put the mobile money number down, because the tithes have to keep coming no matter what. And human suffering is actually the good formula, the best formula for receiving. Because people who are searching, people who are hopeless, it's not that God doesn't exist. It's not that Nyame doesn't exist. But there had to come a time where all the fakes had to be rooted out. If you were told, you wouldn't believe it. Because the real ones would have gone into their laboratories if they had some, because they should. The Bible tells you the job of the highest priest of the land. His name is Aaron. He's a Hebrew Levite high priest. He's a medicine man. He's a spiritual man. He's a language maker. He is one of the, to be a Hebrew Levite high priest, it means you are the most learned on the land. Not even the king surpasses you in knowledge. In fact, you are the walking dictionary. It is you who makes up the words that you use within your vocabulary. A Hebrew Levite high priest was more powerful than the king and the politicians and the soldiers. Why? Because he or she was seen, or was normally he. They were seen to be direct contacts to God himself. So therefore, the person God speaks through cannot be below the man who claims to dominate. Fact. A Hebrew Levite high priest doesn't even touch money, doesn't see money, doesn't need money. The only one allowed in the holiest of the holy. It's not that your God didn't answer you. His silence was your answer. Your God's silence was the answer that the people who are leading you to your God are false. Because no God will sit and watch his children perish, unless if his children have failed to listen. And the world, we have failed to listen. Whoever your God is, you have failed to listen. Why? Everyone is running to the pharmaceuticals looking for them to come up with the answer. But they're taking the answer from nature and then they're adopting it to suit them before they give it to you. So why not just drive to nature yourself? Study nature, learn nature, the energy for life, the drive for life. It's not that your God didn't answer you, or it's not that God didn't answer you. You've been answered. You need to critically think. You need to critically analyze. Not your faith. Not your faith, but the faith and the direction that the person leading your faith is taking you down. You need to be critical and analytic about it. Something that most Africans fail to do. An African will pump information at you that he hasn't verified. And then you will find that when you prove that it is not so, that's when you will get, my uncle told me still. Your uncle told you. Your uncle didn't lie. It's just, if the information you're given cannot be verified and then cannot be logically explained through experience, so either through experience or education to ascertain knowledge, then you will be seen. You'll be seen like a fool. People go to the doctor and say, "Doctor, I'm ill. My stomach is hurting me." Okay. Now the doctor has to give you something. How about, "Doctor, I'm ill. Normally this is my diet. Yesterday I tried something new and I'm not sure if it's that, but this is how I'm feeling today." What did you try? This. Okay, let's test your blood and see if that thing is suitable for your blood. The more informative you are and the more you know yourself, the faster you're cured. Prevention is better than cure. I'm telling you, God is funny. What would Jesus have done? He wouldn't have bought a Lamborghini. They're buying Lamborghinis. He wouldn't have even bought a horse. He wouldn't have even bought a donkey. He was lent a donkey. He wouldn't have built mansions whilst his followers were sleeping on rocks. Because he slept on rocks with them. So I'm assuming when he built mansions, if he did, he would have been sleeping in the mansion with them. But these build mansions, castles of gold, silver, diamond, and jewels, whilst you struggle to pay your tax. They build schools for education that members cannot afford to go for free. They build institutions that take tithes and your money at the same time and do not give for free. Yet when Jesus got to the temple and the money was sat there, his only crime and the only time Jesus was violent was in the so-called temple of God. He tossed over everything. What's money doing here?
Jesus.